on the question of Democratic Party mainstream issues, where you're going to be judged by potential voters in the primary. Tell me about abortion. Where do you stand, and how will you face that issue as a candidate?
It's going to be very difficult. I do not view abortion as a choice and a right. I think it's always a tragedy, and I think that it should be rare and safe. And I think we should be focusing on how to limit the number of abortions, and there ought to be able to have a common ground and consensus as to do that. I think the vast majority of the American people think that can be done. But unfortunately, we're put in a position you either eliminate abortions under all circumstances, or it's, quote, abortion on demand. The fact of the matter is I've never known of a woman having an abortion and say, by the way, I feel like having an abortion. It's always a tragic decision made, always a difficult decision. And I think we should focus on how to deal with women not wanting abortions. I might point out, when there was economic prosperity and growth, the number of abortions went down by 300,000, if I'm not mistaken, during the Clinton administration. And they've gone up during the Bush administration, in large part because of the economic stress and pressure placed on people who become pregnant. And so we should be focusing on how to make it more hospitable for women to want to carry a child to term than we should be on eliminating under any circumstances the woman to be able to make that choice about whether or not to carry to term.
This week, the Supreme Court, with Samuel Alito in his seat, took the late-term partial birth abortion case.
Well, I'm a bit of an odd man out in my party. I do not vote for funding for abortion. I voted against partial birth abortion to limit it, and I vote for no restrictions on a woman's right to be able to have an abortion under Roe v. Wade. And so I've made everybody angry. I've made the right to life people angry because I won't support a constitutional amendment or limitations on a woman's right to exercise her constitutional right as defined by Roe v. Wade. And I've made the women's groups and others very angry because I won't support public funding and I won't support partial birth abortion.
Well, sometimes making everybody angry is okay.
Well, let me put it this way. One of the things I decided a long time ago, and it's going to sound corny, but you have to be happy with yourself. You have to be able to look in the mirror. And I think what I'm doing is right. I have my own personal views on abortion, but my view of imposing my views that I accept on faith based on other God-fearing people seems to me to be not what my sworn oath is to do. And so for me, keeping government out of it completely is the way to do it. But I think we should get government into it to change the circumstance where it's more hospitable for women to decide to carry to term rather than to abort.
All right. You mentioned faith.